this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to crochet one of these puff flower granny squares. Start by making a slip knot using your preferred method. This is how I like to make my slip knots, but you can use any method. Then make 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in the first chain to make a ring. There's my ring of chains that I'm going to be crocheting my first round into. As we crochet our first round, I'm going to lay my yarn tail next to my starting chain and crochet over it as I go. This enables us to close up any holes that are left at the end of round 1. I will show you how to do that as we go. Start round 1 by chaining 2. 1, 2. We're now going to make a puff stitch, and there are quite a lot of different ways of making a puff stitch. I've shown a few of them on my channel before. For this square specifically, we need quite a short puff stitch that is very puffy and has got lots of yarn to it. It's quite a big puff stitch. I'll show you how we do that. So I'm going to yarn over, put my crochet hook in the center of that chain ring. Notice how my yarn tail is laid next to my chain as I'm making this stitch here. Then yarn over and pull up a loop, and I'm going to keep pulling until that loop is the height of the 2 chains we just made there that don't count as a stitch. We're using that as a guide for the size of our puff stitches. Now we're going to repeat that. So yarn over, hook into the chain ring, yarn over, pull up a loop and keep pulling to that same height, yarn over, put your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop and pull it up to that same height. And one last time, yarn over, hook into the chain ring, yarn over and pull up a loop to that same height. So if I separate all these loops of yarn out on my hook, I've now got 9 loops of yarn on my hook. To finish off the puff stitch, yarn over and pull through all 9 loops. So all of them like that. So that's our first puff stitch made. Next, chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to make another puff stitch into the chain ring, making sure to crochet over the top of this tail again. Yarn over, hook into the chain ring, yarn over, pull up a loop and keep pulling to that same height as our previous loops. I'm going to do that 3 more times. Yarn over, hook into the ring, pull up a loop to the same height, yarn over, hook into the ring, pull up a loop to the same height, yarn over, hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop to the same height until I've got 9 loops on my crochet hook, yarn over, pull through all 9 loops, chain 2. Repeat this around until you've made a total of 6 puff stitches total, and I'll meet you there. So I've now made 6 puff stitches into the ring with 2 chains between each puff stitch. I've just done my last 2 chains. Do you remember I said that if we crocheted over the top of our yarn tail, we'd be able to close up this hole at the centre? We can do that now. So if you pull on this yarn end, that closes up the centre nicely. We are going to have to come back and weave this end in at the end, but for now it's closed up that hole nicely. To finish off this round, slip stitch in the next puff stitch, which is there. And then we're going to fasten off this yarn colour. So I'm going to pull that slip stitch nice and tight, make 1 chain, snip the yarn, use my crochet hook to pull that yarn through the tail, give it a pull to tighten. We're now ready to join our next colour. So I'm going to rotate my little puff flower around a little bit, and I'm going to pick any chain 2 space and put my hook into it. I've then pulled up my next colour yarn ready to join it. So I'm going to lay it over the top of my crochet hook and pull up a loop. So I've got a little trick here that temporarily prevents this loop coming too loose from where this tail is left dangling, and this won't secure your yarn permanently, but it's like a temporary bit of extra friction to stop it coming loose. You will need to come back and weave this in at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn tail, lay it over the top of my crochet hook and tuck it down there and hold it in place with my finger so it's nice and out the way. We're now going to ignore that little yarn over I did with the tail there, and that will get it trapped in our starting chain. So to start round 2, we're going to start by making 2 chains. 1, 2, that doesn't count as a stitch, and you can see that my yarn tail is caught in that chain then. So next I'm going to make one of those same puff stitches we did in round 1 into the same space. So yarn over, hook in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop to the height of 2 chains, yarn over, hook in the same space, yarn over, pull up a loop to that height again, and do that a 3rd time, and one last time. And then I've now got 9 loops on my crochet hook, yarn over, pull through all 9 loops, and that's our first puff stitch done. And I'm going to pull this puff stitch over a little bit to make space, because we're going to be making a second puff stitch into this same space. So next, chain 1, and we're going to work another puff stitch back into the same space. So I'm going to do my first yarn over and pull through, second, 3rd, 4th, got 9 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. And I'm going to make 1 chain again. And I'm going to repeat this around, working 1 chain, puff stitch in the next space, 1 chain, puff stitch in the same space. So we're doing 2 puff stitches in each of these spaces all the way around. So we're making 12 puff stitches total with 1 chain between each puff stitch. So repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. So this is what your puff flower should look like at the end of round 2. You can see I've made a total of 12 puff stitches, 2 puffs into each space around. I've just done my last 2 puffs with 1 chain between them. I've done 1 chain after this puff stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch in the top of my first stitch, and I'm going to fasten off just like we did at the end of round 1. So I'm now going to join my final colour, and I'm going to put my hook into any chain space around. It doesn't matter which one you go into, I'm just going to pick that one. I'm going to lay my yarn ends over my crochet hook and pull up a loop just like we did previously. Then I'm going to do that little trick of tucking my yarn tail over the hook just to give it a little more friction so it doesn't come loose so quickly. Now we're ready to start round 3. Start round 3 by chaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That counts as your first treble crochet stitch. So that's a US treble crochet. They're called double treble crochets if you prefer UK terms. Then into that same space we're going to make a treble crochet. So I'm going to yarn over twice, hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So if I include that starting chain, I've made 2 trebles into 1 space. I'm now going to skip the puff stitches, and we're going to be working into the spaces around for this round. So into the next space I'm going to work 3 double crochets. These are US double crochets, they're called trebles in the UK. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to work 3 double crochets into the next space as well. 1, 2, 3. So into the next space I'm going to make a corner group, and for this square our corner group is 2 trebles, 2 chains, and then 2 trebles all worked into the next space. So I'll work that with you. So we're going to do 1 treble, then another treble, then 2 chains, then 2 more trebles into the same space. I'm going back down here. That's my corner group there done. So now we're going to repeat that sequence around the square. So I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, corner group, 3 double crochets, 3 double crochets, corner group, all the way around until I'm back and my next space is the one we joined our yarn to, and I'll meet you there and show you how we finish off this round. So I've continued working that sequence of stitches all the way around, and I've just done 2 groups of 3 double crochet into the last 2 spaces. My next space is where we joined the yarn. So we've already worked 2 treble crochets here, so we've already worked part of that corner group, so we need to finish off this corner group. So I'm going to finish off by making 2 trebles back into that space we started. 1, 2. Then I'm going to make 2 chains. Now you can join with a slip stitch here, but I prefer to always use an invisible join on the last round of my granny squares, so I'll show you how to do that next. So snip your yarn, leaving a tail long enough to weave in later, and use your crochet hook to pull that tail through that second chain. To do the invisible join, we're going to be creating a false stitch, like a loop of yarn around the top of this chain 4, and that essentially turns it into a stitch. So I'm going to take my crochet hook and put it from back to front underneath both of the loops at the top of the stitch next to my starting chain here. So my hook's going under there, like that. And I'm going to lay my tail over my hook and pull it through that stitch like that. And then I'm not going to pull this yarn really tight. I want this stretch of yarn here we've just created to equal the front loops of all of the stitches either side of it. Then to finish off the invisible join, I'm going to take my crochet hook and put it from back to front through the back loop only of that second chain of the corner there. And I'm going to yarn over and pull that tail through. So now you can go ahead and thread this tail onto a tapestry needle and weave it in to secure it, and then weave in all your other ends. Then these squares don't necessarily need blocking, but if you would like to learn how to block your granny squares, I'll pop the tutorial for that over here. I'll also pop a playlist over here of lots of different ways of joining granny squares, so you can make loads of these squares and join them into any project you like. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you again next week.